citizens of the Nigerverse. It is Niger here once again, and this is another tier list. And this time in this tier list, no, it's not Paranoia, it's the Usos, the current SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and we got their attires here. So, we got their attires here, quite a bit of attires for the Usos, but we also got our tiers here. So, for our tiers, we got the ones, which is like our S tier, which means really, really solid gear, really awesome gear, love the gear, fantastic, awesome stuff. A tier is still really, really good, not enough for the ones, but still really, really good. B is kind of the middle ground. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's like good or like okay or anything, stuff like that. C is like almost bottom of the barrel, one or two things keeping it out of there. And then the twos is it's bad. It's really, really bad. It is not very boosty. But without further ado, let's get right into the tier list. So this first attire that we have is their debut attire, and this one looks okay. I can't tell which one is which. For the Alright, I'm gonna be honest, and maybe this might sound kind of dumb on my part. I could not for the longest time tell them apart. I know a lot of people probably couldn't, but I definitely couldn't tell them apart, unfortunately. And I still kind of can't, at least not in here. Now, thankfully, because their haircuts are different nowadays, I'm able to tell them apart a little bit easier. But back then, I could not tell them apart. But their attire still looks pretty cool. This Uso here has like the trunks and everything. This one has more so the pants. It's okay, I feel like not great but not horrible. So is gonna go in B tier. Their debut look is going in B tier, and this was back in I believe 2012 or so. It's either 2011 or 2012. Meaning I know it's definitely been over a decade of the Usos, which is crazy to think about. But next up is Early Black, and probably should say Early Black and Red. Pretty much like this one, except now two of them. I can kind of tell this is probably like around 2012 because I can tell by the Raw logo. But still, interesting attire. They both have the trunks now with the black and the red and everything. So I think Early Black, I think I'll also probably put in B. Very basic. Normally the early attires for a lot of the superstars that we've seen in these tier lists haven't always been the best, but they've been okay. Next up we got Early Red, so kind of like this one, more detail, which is nice and everything, not just on the trunks but on the boots, and I think the red suits them really well. So I think it's still in B, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So Early Red is also going to go in B tier. Next up is going to be, let's see here, Red. So not Early Red, just Red. I think I put this one in after this one, but excuse me. Now they got the face paint and everything. This is definitely around when they turned face. The Usos actually started off as heels and they turned face and everything. This one I think is pretty cool. It's got the day one. It's got the Usos with like the face paint there, and it's got the tape around the boots, so it looks pretty nice. And usually with the face paint on the side, that's how they were able to discern. I think this one might be Jay, and then this one might be Jimmy. But yeah, so pretty cool. So I think I might actually put it in A. I think I'm putting it in A. It's a really, really good look, in my opinion. Next up is Orange. This one's okay, probably because orange I feel like is a color that's kind of hit or miss, but this one's okay for the most part. I kind of dig it. The orange and like the blue as well looks pretty cool, and then the white tape around the boots. So I think it looks okay for the most part. So I think that's also going in B, but it's still pretty good. So orange. is going in B, at least for me. Next up is blue. So, oh, you see like the blue trunks and the pink down there, and the blue sleeves and everything on the Usos, and the white tape around the boots again. So pretty solid. I really like the blue ones. I feel like the blue, at least in that one, as you can see, let me actually go back to it. I think it really suits them. And I think it looks pretty cool. So, the blue I am going to put in. Do I want to put in A or B? You know what? I'm gonna leave it in B. It still looks pretty cool though, but I think I'm gonna leave it in B. Next up is the yellow. Not sure if I like this one as much as the other ones, but it looks okay. Hey, it's got the yellow, it's got the blue and everything. Kind of the lighter blue, but I don't know if I like it as much as the other ones. But I think actually I'm gonna put it in C. I think I messed it up a little bit. Yeah, here we go. I don't know if I like it as much as the other ones. And again, these are all my opinions, so if you disagree with any of these, that's totally fine. In fact, let me know in the comments below your favorite and least favorite Uso attires. This one, I'm not really feeling that much. I think probably if it was like a darker blue, or even if the colors were inverted, where this part was like yellow and then this part was blue and then that reflected, I think it will work a little bit better, or will work much better, honestly. Next up is purple. So similar to like this one, except now in purple. I think between the purple and the blue, I think I might lean a bit more towards the blue, but I think the purple still looks pretty good for the most part. So the purple I am also going to put in. Didn't want to do that. I am also going to put in B tier. Next up is going to be, let's see. Yep, it's going to be the black. Oh, really quick, RIP to Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper. But next up is going to be the black, and also RIP Umaga. But the black gear looks really sick, especially with the colors and everything. It looks really cool, and the multicolor that they have in the face paint and the gear. Oh, it is solid. The black, I don't know if I want to put it in the ones, but it is really solid, so I definitely gotta put it in A. For sure is really good looking gear. Next up is the green attire, or the green and pink. It actually looks kind of cool, and I like that there's not too much pink. The green and the black definitely balance it out, so it actually looks pretty good. And even though it's a lighter green, which I usually don't like, I think it works for the most part there. So, you know what? I might actually, I think I'm actually gonna put it in A. I still really like it. Usually, me personally, I'm more of like a darker green kind of guy, but I think it still works. Next up is the gray attire, and I like this one with like the gray and the little like skirt thing, and then the white tape around the boots, of course. And of course, shout out to them being tag champs, and I like it reflected in the face paint as well. So I think the gray I am going to put in. I think I'm gonna put the gray in. I think I'm gonna put it in B. Still really solid though. Oh, I really do like it. Next up is the heel black attire. Yes, in 2016, the Usos turned heel on American Alpha, and kind of became the Usos that we know today, where they ditched like the colorful gear and started wearing like more like kind of street gear and everything, with like the shirt and the pants and the sneakers and everything. And like I said, pretty much how they dress up until this day. And I think it looks really cool. They look rough and rugged and everything. And of course, the day one is H shirt. If you get that reference, you are a real one. But but yeah, so really solid. So I think heel black I definitely got put in A. It almost looks a little too simplistic, but I think it really looks good. looks really cool on them. Next up is Heel White, although this is technically when they were face because they turned face to help the New Day advance in the gauntlet so Kofi Kingston can get a WWE title shot. And I can tell because this is from WrestleMania 35. I mean, I could tell just by the stage design, but I do kind of like the all white. It looks really, really solid in my opinion. I feel like white is kind of tricky to pull off. I think I might just rename it white because they technically aren't heel, but I think white gear is really, really cool. Me personally, I don't wear too much white clothing, mostly because it stains really easily, but I think it works well for them, so I think I'll at least put it in B. I'll put the white gear in B. Next up is the red and black gear, and they look sick in this gear. The red, the black, and everything, and the red cap with the Usos lettering on there, and the jacket. Man, it looks so solid, and yeah. So the red and black, I definitely got to put in A. So. I did not want to do that. So, red and black is going in A. Really, really cool look for them, in my opinion. Why is it doing that to the thing? I don't know. I'll have to get that sorted later. Next up is going to be the red and white. Between these two, I feel like the red and black I like a little bit more, but the red and white still looks really cool. Also, I think the red and white I will also put in B. So, red and white gear also looks really, really solid in my opinion. Next up is going to be the black and white gear. This looks awesome. I feel like the black and white, I really complement each other when it comes to the Usos, and I think like black and white in general in terms of clothing can complement each other really, really well. For the most part, usually, but I especially like the pants that they have. It looks pretty cool. So I think the black and white is also. You know what? I think I'm gonna also put it. I think I'm also gonna put it in A tier. It looks really, really solid in my opinion. Next up is Survivor Series blue and white. The blue definitely works really well with the white. It definitely plays well with the white, and they got the SmackDown wording in there. I forget which Survivor Series it's from. It might be from 2016, if I'm not mistaken, but still looks pretty cool. So this one I'm also gonna put in A. So Survivor Series blue and white. I really, really like it. Next up is gonna be Survivor Series black and blue. Not as much a fan of this one as opposed to this one, and mostly I think because they use like a lighter blue, and I feel like lighter blue is a bit trickier to pull off at least for me. Yeah, I prefer like the darker blue, but it still looks really, really cool. So Survivor Series black and blue, I'm at least gonna put in B. So Survivor Series black and blue kind of reminds you of like the Carolina Panthers uniform and everything, even though I don't really watch football. Next up is the Bloodline gear, and you can definitely tell them apart. This is definitely Jay, this is Jimmy, and everything, but their look as the Bloodline looks really, really solid with like the red in their hair and everything. So I think that one I'm definitely gonna put in. I'll put in A or the ones. I think I'm gonna put in A because it looks really, really cool. Next up is WrestleMania 38, and I like the lettering on the pants, like the 1D and the I believe this is Bloodline. It's a little hard to see. It kind of reminds me of like Enzo Amore's gear with like the 100 emojis on there, but it still looks pretty cool, and I think they pulled it off really well. So WrestleMania 38, I think, is also gonna go in A. Next up is Money in the Bank 2022. First of all, shout out to this awesome match against the Street Profits. Definitely match of the night. But also this awesome gear, the gray and the red, definitely look cool. And the gray, the red, the black. It's definitely a really, really solid gear. It's a really awesome gear to look at, especially like the red parts coming down. So I think this one I might put in the one. So, Money in the Bank 2018. Definitely really, 2022. What am I talking about? But definitely a really, really solid gear. And then finally, he's Survivor Series War Games. Shout out to the honorary Sami Zayn. And I love this gear. Now, the all red is almost a little too off putting, but the fact that everybody was in it and it's got like the bloodline lettering down the side and the black to kind of balance it out a little bit, I think helps it. So I don't know if I want to put it in the ones, but I definitely at least got to put it in a. So Survivor Series War Games. Shout out to an awesome Survivor Series, by the way. A 2022 Survivor Series War Games will definitely go down as one of the best, the most bought Survivor Series in company history, which is awesome. But to recap, in the ones, we have Money in the Bank 2022. In A tier, we have red, black, green, heel black, red and black, black and white, Survivor Series blue and white, Bloodline, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series War Games. In B tier, we have the debut, early black, early red, orange, blue, purple, gray, white, red and white, and Survivor Series black and blue. C tier, we have yellow, and the twos, surprisingly empty, because the Usos, the rest are the twos, and they the ones. But that is going to do it for my tier list, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos. You can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your favorite and least favorite Uso gears. Did I do a good job with the tier list? Do you agree or disagree with how I felt about these attires? And I will see you guys later. Peace.